You testified that you gave Timothy a warm bath the night before he passed away, that last night, July 5th. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
This is hours before he dies, right?
Yes, sir.
You look like that when you put him in the bathtub?
Vander Ark, do we have a trash can? I did. I placed a trash can. Yeah, I see it. All right. Would you like the jury removed? Right. Please rise.
I know you remember that moment. That really was the moment from the tortured son murder trial, the cross-examination of convicted killer Shanda Vander Ark. And now this woman wants a new trial. So we're shining a spotlight on the upcoming hearing and the victim in the case. So on July 25th, this defendant is going to be back in court to make her request for a new trial in front of the judge. Now, she was already sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the death of her son Timothy back in 2022. This is Timothy. He was 15 at the time of his death. He was 5'8" and weighed only 69 pounds at autopsy. 69 pounds. 15. Now, according to testimony from his brother Paul, Timothy was routinely handcuffed, forced to eat hot sauce, and also forced to sleep in a closet.
That's the picture I want people to remember of your son. You took that from him. You took it from him. For what reason, I don't know. Mr. Johnson's right. There is something broken in you. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't negate what you did here. So besides remembering him like that, I'm not going to let you hide in the darkness anymore. People know what you are now. They know what you did. You're not able to hide in the darkness anymore.
It's the voice of attorney Matt Roberts fighting the good fight. He was the one who led the prosecution of this case. And he's going to be the one back in court as Shanda Vander Ark is trying to get a new trial. She's claiming she was in a catatonic state. She's claiming she was incompetent to stand trial at the time. And guess what? We're bringing Matt Roberts on the show this morning right now. He is the chief trial attorney in Muskegon County, Michigan. And since this trial, since we got to see him in action try that case so brilliantly, we've had him on many times. He's become one of our favorite legal analyst guests. Matt, thank you for making time on this this morning. We all had a feeling she'd be back. Did you have a feeling that she'd be continuing to fight this?
Well, good morning, Julie. It's great to be here again. Yes, certainly we had an expectation that there would be at some point an appeal filed, and this motion for new trial is not uncommon. It happens in most cases where there are trials, and it's certainly a step that we expected. Took a little bit longer than we expected. There was some difficulty apparently with the appointment of appellate counsel and some disagreements about how to proceed with the appeal, but not unexpected, certainly.
No, Matt, when she says things like she was incompetent to stand trial, I want to know what so you were, because there's so much I could say, but we want to hear from you. When you were up there close and personal with her, doing that fantastic cross-examination where she, appears to get sick, don't know if she actually got sick or what exactly happened there, but our viewers were loving the fierce cross-examination that you did, getting justice for this precious boy. Did you see incompetency from her?
Certainly not, and it really gets back to what our central theme of our response to this motion is that she would pick and choose the moments where she believed that she was incompetent. It's a theme that really ran throughout the trial. It ran throughout the evaluation for whether or not she was criminally responsible, insanity defense, if you will, and it certainly showed itself in the cross-examination there, where every time I would ask her about one of the punishments or one of the difficult portions, she would say, "Oh, well, I don't remember that," and that's a theme that she would constantly go to. And in fact, even in her own evaluation by her own doctor that we're aware of, Dr. King, sort of the same thing, that this idea that she could just selectively pick out what parts she remembers and what she doesn't remember just does not line up with any diagnosable or any recognized mental illness that she was suffering from.
Right, Matt. To me, she's diabolical. The behavior, it's diabolical. I see her pathology. I look at her. She's a lawyer, for anybody who forgot that fun fact. She's a lawyer by profession. So this is not a stupid woman. This is somebody, to me, that I think is trying to find any way she can to remove herself from being responsible for what she did and what she directed her son Paul to do. Matt, let's take a look at that. He was one of your testifying witnesses, but also a defendant because he behaved badly here too at her direction. Let's listen to what he said about the hot sauce and poor Timothy.
Do you recall while Timothy was in the tub, an exchange where your mother inquired about pouring hot sauce on his private parts?
I do, yes.
Did you do that?
No. That was beyond rule, as everything else was.
My gosh. Matt, we've talked about this before, but I think it's worth a mention again. In terms of what you've seen over the years, you've had an illustrious career and prosecuted many child abuse cases. Where does this one stack up in terms of severity toward the others?
Well, this one is by far the worst case, and in fact, most of the people that have seen this case or touched this case would all say the same thing. The level of depravity here, it's just unfathomable. And that example that you just pointed there, the Paul testifying about the remark about pouring hot sauce on privates. Every time in this case we thought we had hit a new low, we'd find a new low. And the hot sauce on the privates was another one. The fact that she would even contemplate that. Now, thankfully, that appears to have not happened. And I think Paul was even the voice of reason there. But just the idea that somebody would even contemplate that just shows, again, that level of depravity that is just unconscionable and unfathomable.
It really is. We've got some text messages between Paul and defendant Shanda Vander Ark, and these were read out loud in court, and this was talking about feeding Timothy. Let's take a listen to this moment now.
What the heck has he been doing?
According to him, he's just been setting. I don't know, though. I didn't know he was awake.
Find out what he has snuck right the heck now, because I know he has snuck stuff since you weren't doing what you were supposed to. Tell him he just restarted his not eating again.
If he stops many more, let me handle him, please.
No.
Wall sits.
Push him until it looks like he's about to fall over, please.
Oh my gosh, it's sickening. Matt, God bless you for doing the work you do, because it is hard to be a prosecutor, and it's even harder to handle child abuse cases. It takes a really special person to do that kind of work, and thank goodness you do. Tell us, please, what we can expect when she comes to court next week. July 25th is the date. How's this going to go?
Well, we obviously will be making our arguments here. The defense's argument rests largely on this competency issue, the fact that she, in our view, chose to not return to court, and just kind of sort of play into that theme of, well, I'm not competent, I don't understand what's going on, I can't participate in those things. It just is really not supported by the record. It's not supported by any doctor, and any claim that another doctor might have reached another conclusion is just foolish, because the defense had multiple opportunities to present a doctor that would say that she actually suffered from a condition. So that's the main crux of the argument. I don't anticipate the judge will have a difficulty ruling on this case, but obviously we'll have to wait and see and make our arguments. But we'll be very vociferous in our objection to this motion for a new trial here. I think this issue has been well litigated, and we believe that the conviction is certainly solid here, and that will be our position to the court.
Yes, I would agree with you 100%, Matt. Looking back at that moment, we were just playing it while you were talking about what's coming up in this hearing, and you see her seeming like she's getting ill there, and all I keep thinking about is, she saw her child. She got ill there when you were showing her the autopsy photo, and you did that great cross and making her look at that. She was looking at her son every day of her life, and so it's a shame she didn't get sick like this sooner, isn't it, Matt? It's a shame she didn't get sick before that poor angel was starved to be 69 pounds. I look at this video, it is infuriating to me. What goes through your mind, and what emotions do you have when you see this tape rolled back now?
Well, certainly looking back on it, I agree with you. It is infuriating. It's clearly just a ploy, and even talking to the jury, the ones who could see her, certainly even better than I could see her because of their position in the courtroom, had no belief that that was a real moment, that she was actually getting sick. In the moment, I just wanted to get away from there. I didn't know exactly what was taking place, but yes, looking back, it's clearly orchestrated. It's an effort on her part to drum up some sympathy, but the most important part about that is that she had seen those photographs, those exact photographs, less than a week before that, and had absolutely no reaction. So that just tells you everything you need to know right there.
Exactly. Pants on fire. You know, and thank you for sharing that with us, Matt, you know, because we could assume she'd be looking at the discovery, seeing the photos, and that was all her trying to win the Academy Award there in the courtroom. Didn't work. You picked a great jury. They saw right through that. Matt Roberts, you're the best. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. We'll let you get off to court.